What's up, you guys? I'm Aimee DeRoehn of Road Home and Power Yoga. Happy 4th of July. Let's do a 30-minute practice that really clears space for you to have just a little bit more felt independence and freedom. A 30-minute yoga class, and this class is for you. I'm happy to be here with you. I've missed you guys. Let's get going. Let's do something a little different. Let's actually start out onto our back and just go with this, okay? So you're going to be on your back, and you're going to have your legs straight out on the floor. I want you to go ahead, interlace your hands over your head, or at least take your arms over your head on the floor. And I want you to press your palms away from you if your fingers are interlaced, and point your toes away from you too. So really you're just taking your hands away from your toes, fingertips and toe tips away from one another. And then go ahead, please take both legs, draw them in, hug them right into your chest. Whenever your knees are bent, you want your feet flexed, okay? It adds more stability to your knee joints, and your joints need all the stability they can get. I want you to hug your knees into your chest as you exhale all the air out. You're not just releasing the air and releasing carbon dioxide, you're actually just releasing whatever you're holding in. Go ahead, take your left leg out and your right knee hugs in. Flex that right foot, okay? Lift your head and shoulders off the ground, and you're squeezing your knee towards you while you hug your belly into the floor, and then the left side. And we're going to go real quick. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the shoulders off the ground a little bit higher, and you're going to start feeling the fireworks in your belly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, lift up a little more, 2, 1. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking your hands behind your head, flex your feet, ankles in line with the knees. I want you to take bicycles. You're going to curl your right elbow. Lift your right elbow more towards your left knee. Right leg straight out in front of you. Come back to center. Lift your butt off the ground. Hug your knees towards your chest. Left leg straight, elbow bending. Go ahead, come back to center, squeeze it in, and elbow to knee, and pick it up. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Back to center, lift, right elbow, left knee. Back to center, lift, left elbow, right knee. Back to center, pick it up, twist. Pick it up, twist. Pick it up, twist. Now, just go ahead and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Do 5 more of those knee squeezes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Big exhale out. And go ahead, rock on up to flat feet. And I want you to take downward dog. In your downward dog, hands shoulder width apart. Feet hip width apart. Now this practice is only going to work if it fits your body. I see a lot of people have their feet too close together or their hands too close together. So what I'm saying is really real. Make your feet the width of your hips apart, okay? And make your hands your body shoulder width apart. Press your hips way back, drop your brain, let the exhale go. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, hands on the shins. Pull your heart forward. Shoulders come away from your ears, so pull them down. Bend your knees, press your butt back. Inhale here. Empty the breath, fold forward. When all the air goes out, your spine has that independence and freedom to just drop a little more off the hips. Press down into your feet. Reach all the way up to stand. Pull your hands right to your good heart. Palms pressed together. See your fingertips for a moment. Draw your breath in so that when you breathe in, your shoulders go to your ears. With that exhale leaving the body, the shoulders leave this space and they drop back to where they actually belong. Rest your eyes on your fingertips touching. They say we want to make peace for the quiet moments because God whispers and the world is loud. Not said in a religious sense, just a knowing that when we get stillness, when we get a little bit of space away from the busy, the hectic, the hurried, the worried, the anxious mind, we settle all that down. And we can let some of the freedom ring that our heart wants to speak to us about, speak to our head about. Set an intention for your body's wisdom to deliver something simple, vital, and worth listening to. Inhale, reach up. Empty all your breath. Feel your knees deeply bend and chest bowing. Let your head totally drop toward the floor. Hands to your shins, halfway up. You're lengthening that spine, so press your butt back, shoulders back. Pull your heart forward, away from your hips. Take another forward fold. Really deeply bend your knees and really, truly drop your head. Come back up, halfway, inhale. Hands placed to the floor. Step into your first high push-up. You bring those shoulders forward, right over the wrists. If you just rock your body weight forward, there you go. You're going to press back through your heels and stretch your chest away from your heels. Squeeze those thighs up. Tailbone lengthening. Breathe here. 5, 4. If you need to bring your knees down, tops of the feet rest by all means. And if that happens, bring your knees a little behind your hips. Otherwise, you're in straight legs. You're squeezing your legs like you're not fooling around. And you're breathing. Then you're going to look forward. You're going to rock forward on the balls of the feet. That's going to help bring your chest forward. And then you're going to bend your elbows, hug them to your sides. Lower. Follow your breath in for an up dog. Tops of the feet press down. Feel those hips pull forward. Press your shoulders back. That will open up your chest. Empty the breath. Downward dog. Let your practice be a space where you can just exhale and go all the way with that exhale. Just let it all fall out. And then a deeper breath in finds you. And then you clean house on your lungs. And then you take another breath in. Clear all that space. Just empty all the air out to the very, very bottom of your lungs. Feel your hips pull way back off your spine. And then bend your knees, look forward. Heels pick up, hug the belly. Hop. Halfway up. Inhale, length through the spine. Empty the breath, fold into a bend. Rise up. Bow. Halfway up. Move back into a push-up. On your inhale, you're in high plank. On your exhale, you lower. On your inhale, that's upward dog. On your exhale, you pull back. Let your head drop. Please land your eyes between your feet. If your eyes have a place to land, and instead of wandering all over, checking everything out, let your physical eyes rest in this practice, in this pose. That'll start to settle your nervous system down. FYI, belly tight. Hop forward, halfway up. Hands behind your back. Pull your chest forward and squeeze your knuckles toward the wall behind you. Stretch that chest long. Empty the breath, folding forward. Take a breath in. Let it leave. Bend your knees. Sink your hips down. Down, down, down. And stretch your arms up. Bring the weight back into the heels. Tilt your tailbone down. So if your knees aren't super straight, that's okay. But you want length through the spine. Free up this low back. Rather than compression, iron it out. And if you can't bend as deeply, no worries. But you breathe deeply instead. You squeeze your thighs. You sit a little bit lower. You inhale, stretching your heart and arms higher. And you bow forward. You take a breath in. Move back into a push-up. One more. Inhale, high. Empty, low. Fill your lungs, upward dog. Shoulders and collarbones, peel them open, away from one another. Empty fully. Down facing. Step your right foot forward and turn your back foot down. You're going to inhale, come up into warrior one. So warrior one, always closed hips. Straighten this front leg for just a moment. Get into your back leg and lengthen that tailbone down and firm that back leg. You want to find your feet first before anything. So you want to press the feet into the ground to find the power of your legs. You'll find the power of the perfect space for your pelvis by the width of the feet. So you're not trying to make yourself fit anybody else but your body in this warrior one pose, okay? Honor me by honoring your body as the true teacher. Take your arms straight up. Press that right knee open to the baby toe side of the foot. Lengthen through that tailbone again. Inhale the right hip back. Stretch up. Bring your hands to the ground. Right through it. High plank. Low. In breath. Up. Out breath. Down dog. Step your left foot forward. Turn your back foot flat. Again, front knee over the ankle. Inhale, warrior one. Come on up. Lengthen through that low back. Lengthen that tailbone. Wow. Lengthen it toward the floor. Hands on the hips. Take a breath in. You're going to peel that left hip back while you exhale. You're going to probably feel a little pull in this hip flexor. I sure do. So I feel you. Reach up. Inhale, arms up. Land your eyes on one thing in front of you. Back to bringing the nervous system to a place of peace and freedom of ease. Grounding the nervous system with the eyes and with the Ujjayi breath. The funny thing is when we feel more stable, we feel simply more safe. That's freedom. Stretch up. Empty that breath out to get back to the ground. Go through it. Lower. Empty. Fill up. Up dog. Filter the lungs out through the out breath into a downward dog. Bring your feet together. Bend the knees, look forward. Pull feet to hands. Halfway up, inhale. Folding, interlace those fingers. Clasp those palms together. Clasp the fingers, press them, squeeze them. Emptying the breath. Pull the shoulders from your ears. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands pull right to the heart, bow. Heads dropping right in, chin to your chest. Halfway up. High, push up with a smile on your face. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot flat. Inhale yourself to warrior one. Exhale your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers, press your palms together if you can. Take your shoulders, arms, and knuckles and squeeze them down toward the floor. Peel that chest open, collarbones peeling apart. And use your exhale, folding inside your right leg. Head needs to drop. Land your gaze. Stay breathing. Empty the breath out. Your breath and your eyes are your anchor for the mind. Go ahead. I want you to take your hands to the floor. Left hand directly under your left shoulder. Take your right arm out to shoulder level. Hug your shoulder head back into its socket. Inhale the arm up. Exhale it down. Step back into downward dog. Push all your air out. In your downward dog, squeeze your legs firmly. Take your left foot, step it forward. Inhale, reach up. Empty the breath, hands behind your back. Clasping, pulling everything down. Stretching the heart up, peeling the chest open, breathing in. Exhale, fold inside the leg. Drop your head and breathe. You want to try to line your left hip with your left knee. Otherwise, your left butt sticks out to the sidewall like a speed bump. So just pull the left hip in, pressing the left hip back. Drop your head and let your exhales free your shoulders. Take your right fingers on the ground. Underneath your right shoulder. So always stacking your joint, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Open it up. Hands to the floor. Downward dog. Take a breath in. Squeeze the air out. And it really will be good if you do it to the last drop. Take your right foot, step it forward. Turn your back foot down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale into warrior two. The right knee presses open to the pinky toe side. Peel the left shoulder, the left lungs back. Reach those arms. Spread the fingers apart. You want the first and middle finger to come together. Lengthen them out on both hands.
Pull the wrists apart. Sink a little lower while you exhale. Third and fourth fingers. Feel the third and fourth fingers pulling back toward the heart. First two fingers press out, lengthen out. Other two fingers pull in toward the heart. Take your left arm to your back leg, reverse your warrior. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Left arm, peel it up. Exhale it straight back. Let your hips drop a little bit more through the out breath. If you hold the breath, what happens simply is this. You won't let go. You'll grip and hold on for dear life. Your hips can't open up and free themselves that way. So give your hips, give your pelvis some space to have some breathing room. So empty the breath as you sink the hips down. Turn and look over your left shoulder. Press that right knee open a little more and breathe. Twist it out a little more as you breathe out. And release. Hands come back to the floor. Go through it. High, low, up dog, downward dog. Breath in. Dump it all. Step your left foot forward. Come into warrior one as you breathe in. And exhale as you breathe out into two. Again, you take your first two fingers on both hands. You lengthen them out. You take your third and fourth fingers. You separate them. Pull the third and fourth back toward the heart. Press the left knee open. Stay in your breath. Flip your palm. Right hand to your back leg. Reverse your warrior. Stay with me. Exhale while you sink a little further down. Take your left palm to your left thigh. Take your right arm straight up. Exhale it behind you. And you're going to keep pressing the left knee open. Keep letting your hips sink down. Eyes right there on the back wall. Keep your eyes soft. I was in a class recently at Wanderlust for energy medicine yoga. And the teacher, Lauren Walker, said 80% of the tension that we hold is really in our eyes and around our eyes. So instead of continuing to stay hard and strained, which is draining and depleting over time, soften. Allow your exhales to soften. You come into something beyond the wall of tension, stress, and anxiety. Let your wall come down. Now let your hands come down. Come back to high plank. Exhale low. Inhale up. Empty the breath, down dog. I want you to go ahead and walk your feet forward. Separate them out hip width. Grab your big toes with the peace fingers and the thumbs lock around there. Lean a little more forward. Bend your knees if you need to. Push your hips back. Pull your chest, pull your spine long out in front of you. Fold as you breathe out. From there, I want you to turn your toes out, your heels in. You're going to take a squat. And if you need to, and your heels don't come flat on the floor, that's okay. You can take the front edge of your mat and fold it over. You can come right to that edge. And again, turn the toes out, heels in. You're going to drop your hips. You're going to bring your elbows to the inner thighs. Palms press strongly together. Press your chest a tiny bit forward. Press your hips and knees open. Let the exhales release where you're not free. We have too much tension. We don't feel free. When we cannot breathe deeply and freely, we won't feel ease. We won't have freedom. Bring your hands to the floor. Pick your hips right on up. Step your feet back. Bring your knees down. Unroll your mat. I want you to go ahead and I want you to come right down to your belly. Now I want you to bring your left arm out in front of you. And I want you to take your right foot behind you. I want you, if possible, to turn that right hand on the top of the foot, fingers face forward. You're going to bring your right foot outside your right hip. You're going to try to press down through that right foot and that right leg, while also pressing the foot right back up into the hand, kind of pressing your quad toward the floor. You're going to breathe. You're going to breathe in so you can lengthen your spine. You're going to exhale. You're going to press down through that foot, press that leg toward the floor, while also trying to push and have a little resistance. This is a pose that's not very funny, right? Or fun. Yet, if we have a lot of tension in our hip flexors and our quads, on some level, our mobility won't have freedom. We'll kind of just, drag ourselves around. Pressing down, but pushing back. Push that foot up into the hand at the same time. Now release. Squeeze your foot. Squeeze your foot, squeeze your heel. Good. Grab onto the big toe, the middle toe. Just give a good squeeze. Kind of like a little mini massage. And you're going to come back and do it again. In the pose, you may not feel like you're free. That's where you exhale. So that some of the resistance loosens up. You don't worry about how much you push down. You definitely want to push back into the hand, though, with that foot. That's going to really stretch out that quad and that hip flexor. Just stay here. One more big breath in. Exhale it out. Release. Windshield wipe that leg side to side. Go ahead, other side. You come onto the right forearm. You reach back, you catch that foot. Same action, you're pressing the foot down. Press the left quad down. That foot's outside the left hip. Give a little resistance. Push the foot back into the palm. You don't have to like every pose. Just breathe in it. And you'll realize that it's really not so bad when you give up resisting and move into a space of acceptance. And that can happen for us and needs to happen for us in our head and our heart. Because the stiffness isn't just in our spine, our hips, our quads. The stiffness can be in our mind. Hardness can be in our emotional heart. And that definitely impacts the body. And we're all fooling ourselves if we think otherwise. Release. Give your foot a great squeeze. Massage it out. Spread the toes apart. Opening everything up. And then grab the foot one more time. We'll just stay here another few breaths. To give the pose all you've got, all you got to do is breathe in as much as you can take in without strain and let it all go free. I want you to close your eyes here. I will too. I want you to feel how the inhale stretches things automatically, naturally, and the exhale releases to bring a space of simply more give. Is there a place today in your life that you could start to move towards forgiveness? It's just so that you can have some freedom and release from excess tension, anger, strain. Just windshield wipe your feet. Because the places where you kind of shut off are also the places where you'll have a disconnect for the right kind of love, the right people, right experiences, better. Wouldn't want you to miss out on that. Your independence is when you can also find freedom to forgive as much as release exhales. Bring yourself into an up dog. Bring yourself into a child's pose. Drop your forehead. Drop your hips. Drop your arms even. Forgiveness does not mean that we have to, have lunch with somebody that, deeply hurt us. But it does mean that you have just a little more breathing room in your head and your heart. It could mean that you pick up the phone and ask somebody to lunch because you recognize that the love for somebody you might have a grudge with, or the care and concern you have for somebody you might be upset or angry with, is actually bigger than the wound. And yoga helps us move into a space of bigger. And also, a lot of times we're so quick to forgive others, but we will hold ourselves so accountable in emotional purgatory for something that we wouldn't do again if given the chance, times when we were thoughtless, etc. I hope this practice invites you to find some freedom to loosen up on something that you're being really hard with yourself about. Because it's really how that works. It's like, mainly if we have that kind of hardness and stiffness towards us, and we nickel and dime our own actions and all of that, we'll often do it outside us. And as you start to get into the practice of releasing tension, bringing ease to your nervous system, you start kind of loosening up and lightening up your grip in your life. So there can be some buoyancy. Therefore, freedom. Create a space for independence, for something new. That's my wish for you for this 4th of July, 2014. I'd like you to finish out by taking your legs straight out in front of you. Take a forward fold, reach up. Use your exhale to lengthen and soften. Use your inhale, eyes closed. Use your inhale to lengthen your spine.
Use your exhale to free your spine. And when we free the body, we free the mind. And when we feel freer in mind and in our heart, our body feels better. That's all there is to it, really. Bring yourself into your Shavasana. Hug your knees in tight. Take your Shavasana, feet together, knees butterfly out. Rest your hands on your belly, where we began. I hope you've had a shift, a necessary shift inside yourself as well as physically. Namaste.